Several months later, the knight was enraged. No pathetic enemy stopped him. No task was too hard. His glory did not appear on its own. But this thing almost made him cry. "I cannot take this anymore." The knight yelled. "This fiend must be undone." He pulled out his sword. "Sir, if you simply cut the task in half, you won't solve it," patiently pronounced Richard, pouring one more cup of tea. "Nonsense. Always used to, why should this time be any different? Unfortunately, it won't help you out this time. Besides, you've already cut in half a dozen of books, and yet we struggled again and again." For a moment the knight looked sad and disappointed. After a short exhale, he pronounced with determination, "All right, son. I won't fail you this time. Explain it to me again." Richard grinned. "Sure, sir. This is red 22 divided by 2. So, what's the answer?" The great knight's brain decided that surrendering could be an option. Several more months later, Richard was pleasantly surprised with his student. Within almost a year they managed to understand Euclidean geometry and irrational numbers. The knight even managed to calculate financing of projects himself for the previous couple months. Despite his struggles, the knight managed to overcome his greatest enemy, forsaken and unholy abomination which name is maths, and almost seemed to enjoy the process of research. Sure, he was mainly interested in siege weaponry, but together they managed to create lots of great things for citizens and their homeland. King Frederick, who received his long-awaited capital letter after successful electrification of almost every major city, was quite happy too. Despite his lack of any activity in old man's education, by his reassignment he made a great soldier into a great man of people. Despite the fact of second-grade leveling of tax evasion enacted as his will in the process. And the great knight finally discovered a more peaceful calling in life. He served the crown both as a great warrior and as the one who managed to make his civilization prevailed. From those times on, he was known as none other than the great knight, he who tamed maths. And, yes, no one could ever recall his name.